You are listening to That Big CEO Energy, where we talk all things business, life, marriage, and push you to a new edge of discovering what that big CEO energy means for you. Listen, I understand that we have barriers that we carry from when we were once employees, and those have impacted us as we continue to build our businesses. I'm here to walk alongside you and give you encouragement through interviews with friends and other women in business who have broken down those barriers and paved their own way. Tune in with me as we uncover some of the unconscious things that we do that keep us from building that big CEO energy we've always dreamed about. Let's dive in. Welcome back. You are listening to episode 7. And today we are going to talk all about cheerleading for ourselves, not just cheerleading for other people. And I'm sure, right, that we all have cheerleaders in our lives. Some of us have friends, partners, family, maybe even our coworkers. And some of us even have life coaches that really have the opportunity to cheer us on through all of the fun things that we're doing. And that is super fun. I am so thankful that at some capacity, hopefully, we all have those folks in our lives that just give us extra encouragement and an extra boost. Well, there is also nothing better than us building a self-belief within ourselves to give ourselves extra encouragement and extra cheerleading. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. But one of the things that we often suffer from silently is the constant nagging of ourselves. Maybe you are having an experience where there's just this constant voice in your head of you can't do anything right, and why are you doing it this way, and everybody else is doing it that way. Or maybe you are berating yourself for not managing enough things and not managing your day well enough, or not doing things as well as we think others are, for not fitting into a certain size or fitting into certain spaces, for being a crappy parent, for cooking chicken nuggets again for dinner, or mac and cheese again for dinner. I mean, I could go on and on. It's so easy to believe that everyone else has their ish together, and you just feel like you are constantly looking around going, I am not doing any of that. I am crappy. Look at them over there. They have X, Y, and Z. Why don't I have that? And we miss the boat. We miss taking a look and taking inventory of what we are doing that is so, so good. How we are showing up in spaces where it matters. And how people around us that genuinely love us are cheering us on. And we don't have to have it all together. But powering up your inner cheerleader helps you see opportunities that are available to you. And it helps you think more clearly and take stock on what is happening currently. Why am I feeling this? And when we can give ourselves a pep talk to say, I'm going to do a little reset. I'm going to go through some of the actions that I have been doing lately that don't resonate with me anymore, and either get rid of them or delegate them to something else or someone else. And when we build up our encouragement to say, I got this, I'm going to do this for me because I deserve it, it stimulates action and persistence. And it allows you to stay motivated for longer periods of time so that you can build up this kind of bank, if you will, that you're storing away encouragement when you need it. You're storing away past experiences to where it is encouraging you to make sure that you can get it done again, right? You can do this again when hard things arise. You can delegate that thing again because it was so easy. All you had to do was ask last time. But what you need is to really assess, what do you need in your life in order to be your own cheerleader? So again, I know the past few episodes we're talking about pen to paper, but friend, put pen to paper again. What do you need from yourself? What do you need from yourself? Talk to yourself as if you are your best friend, which everyone should be their own best friend. What do you need from that person? Assess that. Practice. Then looking through that list and turning it into encouragement. Keeping it small, right? Make things into manageable tasks and say, best friend, today we are going to call XYZ and we're going to have the hard conversation. We're going to do that because I need to not feel the guilt and the shame of how the last conversation ended, or I need to feel empowered and feel like we are moving into a healthy place. And be committed to that. Be committed to yourself. Be committed to moving the needle forward for yourself mentally. And also, when you are committed to your goals and to your intentions, it will take time. It will take time. And one of the things that is helpful is understanding the why, right? If you can, in those things that you wrote down of what do you need from your friend, why do you need them? Why are they important to you? And what are some non-negotiables in your life that can help you achieve those? Right? Going back to sort of this boundary talk that we had, or creating strategy around, just assessing your life as a whole. Why does this matter? And why do you want to do this no matter what? You'll find that the reasons come first and then the answers come second. So working through that, it helps you understand, but then what makes you want to do it? So for me, this looks like getting the podcast up and going. Listen, I hemmed and hawed for a long time because I was like, do I do this? Do I not? Because there are some things in my personal and professional life that has shifted that I wasn't really sure if I could A, continue it, and B, if I wanted to. But I have a lot of things to say. And I have some cheerleading to you all that if it's left with just me, it does no one service. It doesn't help you. It doesn't help me. And I think sometimes we often use podcasts or something as an outlet so that we can get cheerleading help, so that we can have somebody kind of in our ear saying, yes, girl, go and do that thing. And, go take the trip, go travel solo, go do the stuff and things that you want to do because you can. And so if I am not adhering to what I need, which is sometimes to sit down and record an episode right on boundaries, that is a gentle reminder to me to continue to work through those. And so if I can't even audibly say what I need, I certainly cannot get on a podcast and do it for you all. But I think sometimes it helps me kind of work through the process by sitting down and recording, because I'm like, yeah, yes, girl, I do need that thing. And I am going to talk about that thing, because if I know that I need it, I know that there are some of you out there that need it as well. So I committed, right, to doing weekly podcast episodes again, because it makes sense, because I want to be a friend. I want to be a cheerleader. I want to be a business confidant. I want you to know that you have someone in your corner that is rooting for you. And you have someone also in your corner that will tell you, hey, in your business, do these things because, it is beneficial to you, or don't do those things because that is just a pain in the ass and it is not worth it. So focusing on my own stuff and focusing on what I want and releasing the notion of comparison. We have heard it time and time again. Comparison is a thief of joy. And it is so true. But it also sabotages our self-belief in ourselves. It also is a part of human nature. But when we reduce it, and we keep ourselves busy with the meaningful action towards the things that we want and not what everyone else wants, we start to become our own cheerleader by saying things like, I know that Susie over there is doing X, Y, and Z, but I'm going to try it this way because it's different and I think it'll be more fun. Like, it encourages you. Something happens. It encourages you to step out of the box and try something different. Because when you release this comparison of, I need to do it like everybody else is doing it because it's yielding X, Y, and Z results, stepping into this puddle of, I'm releasing comparison and I'm going to be my own cheerleader to try and do it differently. If I fail, great. I think one of the things that I have come up with this year is I am encouraged to fail. Like, I want to fail at some things. I really, really do, because that is where you grow. That is where you find the little things in the middle of failing that you were good at. And then you can take those little nuggets and cheerlead yourself to do whatever you've come up with, to try those things, right? When it was only just a small blip on the radar because you were too busy focusing on this other thing. There are things that come out of failure that are helpful. There are cheerleading aspects within failure that you can pull out and say, you know what, this didn't work, but I did really, really good on this part. And I want to keep doing that because that felt really, really, really good. And let's try failing at that thing. Like, let's try that. Because it is super, super encouraging to yourself that you will then begin to show up in spaces where done is better than perfect. We don't need perfectionism anymore. We don't need to be showing up in spaces where it's perfectly curated and everyone sees, the beauty within all of that. And that's all that they see. You know what? There's beauty in just seeing things that are done and also seeing the mistakes that happen behind the scenes, because that produces encouragement for everyone else. But most importantly, it encourages you to continue to fail forward. So done is better than perfect. It is so important to lower our expectations of what and how much we can do. Gone are the days, my friends, where we are spending every waking hour working because we have to. If you are spending every waking hour working because you want to, and you know that that is what is needed in this season of life to move the needle of your business forward, great. But hustling and doing that consistently creates burnout. So releasing this ideal that done is better than perfect helps you then set aside specific time that some of your business activities or some of the things that you're doing in life were done. I am fine with the results and we're moving on. Because everything in life, you could spend nitpicking for hours. For hours. It doesn't even matter what it is, but you could find something wrong at every turn. But that doesn't do anything for anybody, especially for your mental health. So moving from done is better than perfect, it allows you to focus on what you can control and ignore what you can't. So when we spend so much time and energy thinking about and ruminating all of this stuff that is literally beyond our control, what does it do for you? Truly, what does it do for you? Because when we switch it around and we focus on the small stuff that we do every single day, it creates this momentum within us. Again, this cheerleading that happens, that we become our little cheerleader that says, hey, this worked out really well. Let's keep doing that in this area of life or in this area of business because I want to see how this turns out. When we go a little bit deeper every single time and we start to become our own little coach, there are lots of little exercises that you can do to coach yourself and raise your self-belief. And Some of those things look like journaling. I know some of you are resistant to pen and paper, but friend, I am telling you, if you just take 5 minutes on a piece of paper or in a notebook and make a list of 3 to 5 things that you're good at, 3 to 5 achievements or challenges that you've overcome in your lifetime, and 5 things that you like about yourself. What do you like about yourself? Do you like your hair right now? Do you like the outfit that you're wearing? Maybe you're on the treadmill. Do you like that you spend quality time with yourself in the gym? Do you like that? How do you feel afterwards? Do you feel invigorated afterwards? Right? Making this list of being positive and talking to yourself in a positive way shapes how you show up every day. And it creates confidence that cannot be taken away. When you consistently do this and you are persistent, and not only are you persistent in making self-development choices and focusing on skills that you are good at, it allows you to then further conduct an audit on your life and continue to edit out those little parts. Imagine like your life is a book with chapters, right? And you get to, in whatever chapter you are in, you get to go back a few pages and you get to like edit some things. I don't want to continue to do this. We're going to do it this way instead. We're going to try it. And so when we start to continue to edit our life, what happens is, going back to a few episodes, and I'll link it, we start setting boundaries. We start encouraging ourselves to set boundaries. But most importantly, we start getting the positive momentum that we can do this. We can edit our life. Contrary to what society tells us, you can become a different person overnight. You can. It is sometimes practical and what needs to be done. And so if you need someone to tell you that you are an author who edits your life and you should be doing that and you should be becoming a different person, here it is. If you're on a treadmill, I want you to smile as big as you possibly can because you are actively changing your life. If you are walking down the street right now and you're walking your dog, you are actively changing your life. You're going to do that thing. If you are sitting in your car right now and you are maybe stuck in traffic or you're driving, you can actively change your life. If you are on your way to somewhere that you don't want to go, guess what? Don't go there. Don't go there. Edit your life. Do not show up in spaces where you do not want to be. But one wonderful thing that is put into practice in all of this is confidence. You have to have the confidence that you're able to do this. And I'm here to tell you, again, cheerleader moment. You have the confidence to do this. You can do this. And why can you do this? Because you are the author of your life. You are, however old that you are, you get to show up differently. You get to do that. And you get to be your own cheerleader in doing that. And you might lose a few people. You do. You lose a few people, but that's okay. Because you know why? What's meant for you is meant for you. And we're failing forward. And losing people, losing situations, losing parts of yourself is not a failure, but a reframing in what season you are in. There's always this thing that buzzes around where, some people are meant to show up in your life for a lifetime. Some people are meant to show up for a season. Well, guess what? This is also true in your life. Some things are meant to stay in your life for a reason. Some parts of you are meant to be that way for a reason for your whole entire life. Other parts of you are there for a season of growth, a season of change, whatever that is, but they're there for a season. Sometimes we get so hung up on holding on to things for longer than a season, and they start to adapt into who we are, and you are the company that you keep. And so if you are showing up in spaces where you don't like who you are, you have an opportunity to change. You can. It's a lot of work. I'm not going to tell you that it's not work, but so is cheerleading, right? People see the end result out on the court. When you see cheerleaders or pom-pom people, all they see is the routine at the end. They don't see the blood, sweat, and tears that happens. They don't see the intimate relationships that cheerleaders develop with each other and become a team and encourage each other when they are falling down and when they're just not getting the routine and when there's broken bones and when there's sprains and splints. Nobody sees that. All they see on TV or at the basketball game or football game or wherever, all they see is this snippet in time where the team is fully coordinated. And you know what? Even in that thing, it's not perfect. It's done. It's done because it has to be, but it's not perfect. So when we think about the cheerleading aspect as a whole and reframing that into our life, what are some things that are done and not perfect that you can move on? Because the cheerleading team, right, does the cheer or pom-pom does the routine. Sometimes you'll see it again, but it is still being tweaked. Sometimes you won't see that routine again because they're moving on and they're training for something different. Do you understand how putting together all of these parts and pieces really help you become your own cheerleader? And they really help you understand that even when you are not feeling support from everyone, you have yourself. You know your worth. You're standing firm on that. And you're practicing this power pose of, I am going to lean on my self-esteem. I'm going to lean on my confidence when I'm not getting it from outside sources because I can and I am able and I have these things to tap into. So off of the soapbox I go. Here I am cheerleading you on to become your own cheerleader because it is so worth it. It is so much fun when you are your own cheerleader. You get to do things that are done and not perfect. You get to give positive affirmations to yourself because it feels really, really good. And I know myself inside and out. And you get to persist on things that you want to change and continue to fail forward. And I hope that you will continue to show up in spaces and be bold and be loud because you are your own cheerleader. I'll catch you on the next one. Have a good day. Thanks for tuning into the show today. If you heard something that helped you, I would love it if you would leave a review and share it with your friends. This helps more people just like you become inspired to move the needle of their big CEO energy into a positive direction. If you would like to learn more about how I can help you streamline and position your business for growth or lead your business as a CEO, feel free to jump into the show notes with all of the links to find me. And don't forget to head over to Instagram so we can be pals.